Welcome to From the Left with Stephen Leon, and I'm running for Congress here in Virginia's 8th District. I would like to give a shout out and thank you to the GCD network. My understanding is we have a couple of thousand attendees, viewers. So today's show is about the local political opposition that we have here in the 8th District. We have a Hirak Christian Kim. I'm trying to have fun with this. These are heavy topics, and I'm going to do my best to try and do that. So Hirak Christian Kim, this is your boy. He's representing, and I don't mean your boy, everyone on the right, but he claims himself as a MAGA first candidate. And we're going to go through this a little bit and see, maybe I guess spend 10 minutes on each one of these candidates and just take a look at what he's come up with. And then Don Beyer, he's the incumbent. He's within the Democratic Party. And then Jeremy, I think I'm pronouncing this, Olmec. I hope I'm gonna take it easy on the kid. Yeah, I said kid, he's of age. But it's like a song. It's like a how many roads does a man have to walk through before he can call himself a man? Is it's the age of 18? Is his fully brain developed at 25? How much experience do they have? But I take it easy on Jeremy on social media. I don't, he's just, I think he's young. Some of his ideas are valid. So I've challenged all three of these guys, right? And I've yet to hear anything back. Special debate. I think the easiest thing would be to just do a live stream. We can do that. It's less than $50, and then we can present that to the public. No problem, right? So I think what would be fun is to go ahead and let's take a look. See, that's the thing about it. Like most of us don't really get involved in the community like that. Excuse me for a second. You know, you see the photos. You see the photos of candidates. You see the photos of those in office, and they're out there in the community. They're shaking hands, and we really there's only a 30% efficacy. It's like, yeah, it's not difficult to get involved. You know what I mean? Put yourself out there. Now, as an independent, it's a little bit different. You kind of crash in the party, even if you have a bias to either one of them. I have a day job. It's hard for me to get out there. I'm looking at some meetup groups, beside the point. So most of us go to social media, right? I don't need a poll to know that, you know what I mean? So we kind of, and what the media tells us too. And that's another thing. I want to give a shout out to the company Ad Fontes Media. They are what I advocate for media literacy. You probably see this thing in the way. Okay. No, thanks. This is I assembled tools that anyone can use. Right, it's very simple. Look at that. So you want to cut through political narratives, go to this media bias chart. You can see how it's rated, how the news is rated, and you can see the methodology and everything like that. It's really balanced. It is what it is. It is a media bias chart rated without bias. And you can see how they do that again by checking out the methodology. GovTrack, political records, you can see where whoever you voted for, where they stand. Don Barr's he's centrist left. If we're trying to balance things out, it's not going to help with him. Plus I'll get to him later. Open secrets, you can see where the money's coming from. And even that's transparent enough for you to kind of get a gist of where they stand. If it's PAC money, there are people, let's say, Matt Gaetz, for instance, he doesn't have any stock trades as far as this goes. That was an Obama law that they passed. So they have to report that, but it doesn't stop them from doing that. And again, through my platform, you can, that's one of the primary goals of, out of all the equal issues, we want to get rid of the corruption, the money for the most part. Capital trades is the actual stock trades. This is new, the federal taxpayer receipts, where you can see where all your money goes. At the top is healthcare. So if you paid $5,000 in federal taxes, you can see all where that goes. And if you had a say in where that's going, but the way things are set up right now, there's no excuse why we can't all get on a digital democracy project that I'm advocating for to create the ground in Florida and really have a voice rather than just social media. So anyhow, media literacy is good. That will really cut through the BS. If I voted for Joe Biden in the primary here in Arlington, and I think it's amazing what a show of confidence will do right? His numbers went up. Was it like 25 points or something like that? Just because of his show of confidence and it's about chips or something like that. There's that money's being held up. Yeah. No money that I found has gone to the manufacturing as he proclaims, right? So it's there, and it makes you wonder what else is going on behind the scenes. You want money for this, money for that. Where's it going? So, but I'm willing to roll the dice within the balance of things and vote for him again. I believe that he's the lesser of two wrongs out of So if we go to Twitter, let's start off with Hirak Christian Kim. Oh man, this guy, he's he's just gonna wow. This guy says that he claims the speech of God, right? And then he says that Hitler loves God for killing the Jews in World War II. We're in Arlington. I don't see him saying that stuff to the faces of those families that are buried there. The service members that have sacrificed their lives, how we got into that war to begin with, and how he just does that with a smartphone up his nose. You know what I mean? It's like I want to debate him. You know what I mean? And if this, I hope they're watching right now. I don't know why that's the one. Yes, oh great. Why did that turn on? Okay. Now we have a nice fun yellow spot here. Okay. Then let's just go with what I've already said. Then go to replies. You can see. Let's go to his thing. Let's be fair. Let's look at just what he said this today. It's the only thing he said. He's saying that read that. Jesus Christ was aggressively anti-Semitic and is shown in the Bible and requires every Christian to be anti-Semitic to be truly born again. He takes it upon himself to just be a sermon. I've never seen him in a church. You know what I mean? That's wow. Amendment 1 entirely. It's just he goes on like that, right? It's very simple with him. He doesn't have a constitutional agenda, and then there's nothing positive. He's just going to go with the herd in MAGA. I like to believe that if you look at where we are politically in this area, it's very much blue. And my earliest ancestor on my dad's side, Isabel Delastatius in 1846, as far as I can trace it, moved to Westmoreland County from Southern England. And it's just, I'm a bread and butter Virginian all the way. Mom's side, 1962 was when her dad came over. So, and it just kind of, we're the most educated, we're the fittest. So when you have an environment like that just fruits, the most gay people are in this area too. They just left San Francisco, I guess, and all the really smart, beautiful, gay or not, sexy people just moved here, right? And that doesn't mean we're immoral. That doesn't mean we're immoral, but at all. That's just that it's unfair to say that. And there's this movement that thinks that people make mistakes. That's what religion's for. Some people believe that. It has no business in politics, per Amendment 1. It says in God we trust right there on the dollar bill. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? I believe in a higher power greater than myself. You can debate it all you want, you know what I mean? But this stuff here is just, I have fun with him. I tease him. I wonder if he's gay himself. I wonder if he's got such a hard difficulty with, you should have seen what he said about homosexuals. There's a video that I did, and that homosexuality is the reason for COVID-19. He believes that. He's a certified nurse too, right? Oh God! And that all homosexuals deserve to die. He says at the border that he's totally fine with this, at least where he is in between reality and social media, right? Yes. Illegal immigrants should be shot after a warning shot across the entire 2,000-mile border. My solution is much different. There's some border wall, mostly should be with personnel and skilled tech. If you just rely on that wall, then they're going to find a way around it. It's a more broad scope solution. This is me going directly after them for what they're putting out there, right? All right, that's about 10 minutes. So there's not much more to say about it. You know what I mean? Just how he just, you know what I mean? I look at this and I've kind of myself thrown an immunity to it. And I'm like, it's easy. Like whatever, it's just the same handful of things. He just, he voted in the primary for Dean Phillips, and he says he didn't even know who that was. He did no research on the candidates. In his mind, believes that that's a way to vote against Joe Biden. Something's wrong up there, right? So you see him. He's just you know. Then we have let's go move on to Don Beyer, right? Where timid meets corruption. You wouldn't be surprised. Uh-oh, my cat just jumped. Watch out, Bruce. Watch out, buddy. Okay. Um, so Don Beyer, rep Don Beyer. There it is. Don't you stop showing that wire. Stop. Hey, stop. Oh, stop. Bruce, no. This is not good. What? Why does something always have to go? Okay, that's it. Okay. Hopefully this is my cat Bruce. Very sweet boy. Very adventurous. If I hold him here, he won't. Let's see. He's chewing on the Velcro of one of these camera wires. My little setup here. Let's stay here. It's like it'll be three in a couple weeks. It's like he's very sweet. He's like having a but he's a bit dirty. So Don Beyer, right off the break, boom, he just Bidenomics didn't work. It's just the better numbers of the economy are due to consumer spending. You can argue some of the social safety nets at the bottom there contributed, but if you look at the data, mostly contributed. People just kept spending. It should be easier to save also. That's another thing my platform with the American Capitalism Protection Act. But the fact that he gets just like everyone else, you know what I mean? Like I think I mentioned something about Biden getting up there with the show of confidence. So when Trump gets up there, same thing. There's a lot of similarities. He gets up there and he shows the confidence, and it's not backed up by the data. People just go with it because they don't do the research. Go through my website, go get media literate, look up Wall Street Journal. Is very objective when it comes to left policies. I use it. I'm a subscriber. Don Beyer likes to use Washington Post a lot. I probably need to get through that paywall. And there's opinion pieces and things like that. And it's just, we're tired of it. We're all sick and tired of it. And if it takes independent candidates or party candidates to just be honest, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? It's like, the system's not going to crash. Just so you were wrong. You were wrong and you're playing personality games. Just get over it. Can we just keep it going? You know what I mean? So, right there, he says the economy grew, blistering. The language that he uses, he just doesn't. It's not transparent. You know what I mean? Like he will go on like that wherever it is, and every time there are better numbers, but he wants you to think it's Bidenomics. I think it's interesting that he had where are the colored men and white women? I just look at that. You know what I mean? It's very diverse up there. I look at that and artistic. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Just seems like those white guys are making all the shots. You know what I mean? I'm half white. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get all, divisional or whatever. But so anyways, and he's spending more time these days studying and trying to obtain his master's degree. He did a article on arlingtonnow.com. It says how far he's gone. I've emailed him. I posted it on social media. How long is it taking you away from other matters? You're just going to keep center left when we're trying to balance out right here. My thing is, if people don't know what that balance is and you want to put words to it, it's general welfare, fiscal responsibility. It is very constitutional. It's in the preamble right there that promote the general welfare. You can argue that's what the Constitution said. What do you exactly mean by that? We voted for it. Social Security is good. We're also talking about affordable childcare now. I talked to my partner about it, and I had a kid and how expensive it was. I wouldn't mind. I mean, 1-2% of state tax to have that. And I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but again, go to my healthcare and education section on my Don't Chew the Wires. He's what they call a dog cat. So you can go and see the Bipartisan Policy Center. They put together an 83-page document that will explain how it's going to get done. It's not just talk. And when Kamala Harris had called on Congress and the states to get this done, go through there. It's within the last week. Bayer's like, oh, it's great that you're getting stuff done. No, Bayer, she asked you to do it. You're spending too much time away from me. The only thing he's got time to work on oh, he did on the messenger. He had said that someone asked him in the audience, and I use this a lot because it's where I got him. He asks someone in the audience asks him how long. She said something along, but right away he said, "I can't tell you." With his hand, he swore and said, "I can't tell you how much time this is taking, how much time this gobbles up." And wow. And then he did that article with Arlington Now, and he says he's going to take him another 4 years, right? So who else you got? You know what I mean? You take him out, you got me. And like I said, I support. This is from the left. There it is again. And so, but I don't want to, even Abigail Spanberger, she's running for governor over here early on. She put this out there and the press got a hold of it that Biden had overstepped his mandates. We didn't ask for a lot of policies that's not principled with fiscal responsibility. So that's why I like Abigail. She also pushes through a lot of the banning congressional trades and stuff like that. And even though she had, if you look on Capital Trade, she had done a couple, then she cashed out. It just seems, my impression of that is that she's going to push this through, and I don't want it. But go look at buyers, millions of dollars. Same thing with Ro Khanna, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And if you go to his, he's not local opposition, but what I found on his website that he wants to remove corruption and money out of politics. But then if you go to the little link on his website, it goes blank. The link is dead. Wow. This is, yeah. And that's as best as they're going to be transparent with us. And you can thank Obama for that, for the capital trade stuff and some of the things. When he campaigned on change, he meant it. We're not all perfect. You can pick holes in his diplomacy, but look at what he accomplished, right? And you can see how that is a change paradigm, and how he didn't mean that for just left or right. He meant it for both parties. A lot of us really loved Obama and still do, and I'm one of them. So he just sets the buyer. Did we flip over to yeah? Same thing. That's all they're doing. If you could take it as a natural way where you see Buyer being middle left, and when Trump points his finger at Democrats, he would be one of them. But he's not pointing himself to his hypocrite, right? So, but then you take Hirak taking that just how, like if it were a trend or like a musical genre or something like that, how that filters down. Look at how it evolved to the point of Hirak Kim. So it's just a natural. It's just like a plateau. How can it grow any more than that? Especially now that I'm calling them out. And I'm not just calling them out, I'm bringing a solid plan, right? Ask me questions, email me, call me, we talk about it. You know what I mean? And even then, whatever idea that I have out there, it shouldn't be held to crystallization. If something new's out there, something pops up, I've done my very best to stay on top of everything and put it into a platform. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. Buyer. He's been up in the money too much. There's another thing when he was there was the Medicare for All Act, and he was appeasing his donors and pushing that through the single payer thing. My position is to revise the Affordable Care Act to have a panel of physicians to go over that and make it benefit patients rather than the insurance companies that wrote it. So again, we spend most of our federal tax money on healthcare, and it's, if you're healthy, great. If you're not, and you require more expensive treatment with our economy, that's a stressful thing. You know what I mean? And it puts, so there's we can look at it again and revise that. So, it's just where Don Buyer is. What else has he done? That was just one. That's a Truth Out article. It's all there. What else has he done? Where else has he appeased donors? Where we only have a 30% efficacy since he's been in office. He's doubled his salary. his salary, his net worth to more than double to 124 million since being our congressman. Was he trying to go for four? No, he was elected in 2014 and he was a lieutenant governor here in Virginia. And he just, you know what I mean? He sold cars, his family sold cars, amidst the climate crisis, mind you, and just, you know what I mean? Like really consider that. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? That he just sits there. The way that he talks too, if you're in an interview, if you ever sat in an interview and try to BS yourself, you see it, it's right there. He's lying. Right. And the thing about it is that he comes off as really timid and nice. But it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like if you would look at some people think that the way that Biden had projected his energy was angry. Maybe only 10% of the people would think that, but that psychology to me is fascinating. Or how you saw just anyone, how they get up there and what they say, how they're saying it. It might be offensive to you if you just know. I mean, if you know Biden's voting record, he hasn't voted Democrat. It's probably more moderate Republican than anything. But then in the last few years, he's changed, but not necessarily in an alienating way. So there's still hope there, you know. So, Rush, let me say about Biden. He's just. I don't mean to knock Biden down a peg. But let's get real. I'm going to vote for him again. I have no other choice. I'm still running for president. Realistically, the House of Representatives is the job for me. Okay. Strategy, one term, bring Victoria Verson, and if she'll have it, help me with the American Anti-Corruption Act. And just like I mentioned with the trend, with what Obama started, and push it forward, and then maybe run again for president in 2028. So I'm of age now. I'll be 43 this year. So I would have been if I had won the election. If I was nominated, I could only get on one state ballot. That was the easiest in Nevada. It was just a simple statement of candidacy, and that was it. I got 88 votes. Didn't even really try. And then September, I figured if I got enough momentum, then that would be where I would go. But unfortunately, you know, it didn't move very much. So, but if I had one, then I'd be the youngest president. Was it? I can't remember how many days, a couple of months younger than Kennedy was. So if I win in 2028, then I'll be 6 or 7 days younger than Obama was. So it wasn't really about being young. It's just something I believe that I was called to. So yeah, Don Beyer, if you're listening, if you're out there, I'm all over you. I condemned him. I've never condemned anybody. I've said there's all this thing about condemning this, condemning that, and what good is condemning on its own, right? Without solutions. It's so easy to condemn something because you don't like it, but you know what I mean? To resent, and I believe that resentment is a spiritual illness. What are the solutions to those things? Just to condemn anything for the sake of condemning, right, is just not the way. But I did condemn Don Beyer. I've had enough. I'm from here originally. It doesn't take a degree in political science to know what's going on here, you know, and why is this not going? And there it is right there. I'll say it out loud. I, Stephen Leon of Arlington, Virginia, and the representation of Virginia's 8th Congressional District hereby condemn Don Beyer, Virginia, for the unwritten laws of certain antitrust practices of political party and corruption. Now, that's not a legal language that we would use in the American Anti-Corruption Act, but antitrust, he's broke it. He's done. Just retire, work on your science degree, work on your AI degree, be called as a consultant. You know what I mean? If we'll have you. I mean, there are plenty of other smart lawmakers on AI. Don't need you, practically useless. Let's spend the last 5 minutes on Jeremy. Now, you know, he seems like a nice, I don't mean to say kid, okay? But, and I might even look like a kid to some people, but I take it easy on him. You know, he comes off, I don't, did he? Jeremy Klein. Who may have? I don't know why he would. Olma. OLMA. There he is. Enlisted. I guess that would mean that he's currently reserves for the Air Force or has done service if you go through his website. he's really about this uncapping the house. I don't see how on that's own. Robert Reich supports it. I don't support everything of Robert Reich, but you know, how's that going to get the money out of politics? We're just going to have more representatives. We have that Senate and House so we can balance out what's going on. It's corrupted because of the money, so we get the money. Plus, we have a state legislature. You know what I mean? So ours here in Arlington, where I work and live, is Adele McClure. Okay, she says she wants to get, she wants to stand against political power. Don't break that wire. Let's see it. Let's see you stand up to your own party. If you need me, I don't. Maybe you don't. She doesn't need me to empower her. You know what I mean? To stand up, or maybe be as stern and strong and as creative as I am when I come. I don't go after her much. I don't. And that's really his only priority. He's a bit resentment at American capitalism. I get that. So you know, it's just we are who we are. If I don't make it, or if I do one day, maybe there's a, I don't know. You know what I mean? Would someone like Jeremy, there's an A in there, so I'm not accustomed. Would he adopt? You know what I mean? Like we have Social Security, we voted on it. We like the healthcare, we voted on it. That makes it constitutional. Okay. So, and the language is in the Constitution. That's why FDR pushed that stuff through. We don't want to go overboard with it, right? But we also want to regulate our capitalism, and we got to go to the CEOs for that. It's not just taking all their money. It's not punishment. We have to look at it very methodically. There are already polls out there that support CEO salary caps. So, yeah. What else we got? 8:57, 30 minutes, 2 minutes. Went by very quickly. Did we have fun? Did I make that fun? Did I sound too much like a robot for you guys? I try to be neutral. You know what I mean? Like there's time and a place for everything. The previous podcaster had said something. We just go with the personalities of personalities. I have my own private life, and I am a particular way at work. I have accents and little things for my sweet boy cat. You know, I put on a little show for him. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and we got a couple minutes to burn. What else? Oh, for now. Oh, see, this is the American Capitalism Protection Act. I made it fun. It looks like a label, like a food label. Wild Virginia honey. You can see it. CEO salary caps, price, gouging mitigation, antitrust enforcement, truck industry incentives. I don't want to see truck driver. I see a lot of stuff about labor unions and things like that. Those are good. You can keep those, but you may not even need to use those union powers when you have something like this. And it's still good to keep them. I don't think it's not a replacement for it, but if you give the truck and when you bring stuff to shelves, you know what I mean, they should get taken care of, and you can read through all that. And I will just go ahead and stop. Wish everyone a good night. Hope you adapted to the daylight savings well enough, and I will see you next week.